Before we dive into our brand new ep, we want to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we record, the Wurundjeri people. We pay our respects to elders past and present and to the ongoing living culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. What's up and welcome to the Girls Gonna Work podcast. I'm Hayleigh and I'm a recovering awkward person.
And I'm Jordan and I'm a complete hot mess.
And we're living proof that you can be chaotic, 20-something, and still be a successful business owner. Go grab a cuppa, relax into your comfiest chair and join us as we share the rad, the bad, and the mad reality of running a business. Hi everyone, welcome to our newest episode. Before we dive into all the things that is this episode that I actually have no idea what we're doing, Jordan's running the show, so we're putting me in the hot seat, which we are here for. Which is good because then I didn't have to prepare anything. Before we dive in, Jordan, how has the last couple of weeks been?
It's been so good. So I'm not sure if I've actually spoken about it on the pod, but I was getting like a bit of a brand refresh for Scrunch. So like a bit of a spice up, not a total rebrand, but like new logo, new colors, new icons, new fonts, all of the things. And I was meant to be getting it done in October, but my designer had some space. And she squeezed me in. And so I got my final concepts this week. And then I approved them all immediately because they were so good. And then I've spent the last few days updating my website and creating social media tiles and doing all the things. And I'm so excited. It's just like reinvigorated my passion for my business. So like, I know I love what I do and I love my business, but this year's been so fucking hard for so many different things. Like everyone we've spoken to as well, it really is a cycle of like, you have momentum and then you crash and you're exhausted and you don't know why. And like things are grating on us a lot more, I think, this year. So it's been so lovely to just enjoy like having a new brand and like really get back into like, I get to completely redo all my social media tiles. And like, obviously I'm a social media person. So that's really satisfying for me. So it's just been nice. And I think I'm still going to be tweaking it for a while just to like get it perfect. But I'm really happy. So apart from that, not all that much actually. How about you?
Obviously got a sneak peek of your socials and it looks so cute. Good job.
Thank you.
I've been good. I really am just like kind of running on empty. Like I've been doing so much.
She says she's good and then says she's running on empty.
Like, because I'm compartmentalizing, guys. Like overall picture, I'm great. Overall picture, I'm great. But work life is just, it's been a big like 2 months to push through agency announcement and getting all that kind of sorted. In hindsight, I definitely would have done a couple of things a little different. So that'll be an episode for another day, I'm sure.
Interesting. I'm so excited to hear about it.
But overall good. And nothing exciting, which is not the truth. I have so many amazing things going on, but nothing in the last 2 weeks that is coming up of note. Actually, that's a lie. We just had breakfast, lunch, brunch.
Although, quick detour, I don't think anyone actually goes out for breakfast or lunch anymore. You just say brunch and it covers any breakfast, lunchy meal as long as it's got eggs in it.
Anything before 2:00, really, I would
think.
It's
brunch.
Brunch.
100%.
It's brunch.
Totally.
So we had an amazing brunch with Cass, our podcast manager. So that was really good to fill our cup. We haven't seen her since she's been away in Bali.
Yeah, so it's been months.
Yeah, it's been good to catch up with her. Yeah. But other than that, just chugging along, doing the work things.
Amazing. Well, I'm so excited to pick your brain after, obviously peak exhaustion is the best time to question you about all the things in your business.
Get ready for the rambles, friends.
I think that's what happened in the episode where you interviewed me. I wasn't prepared and I was exhausted and I was like, I have no idea what we spoke about, but I'm sure it was rambly. So, well, let's get stuck into Hayleigh's rambles. So today we are going to be asking Hayleigh a bunch of questions about all things business. We're sort of just doing a rapid fire. I've got 4 questions prepared, and the last one I've also asked our community, so we've got some amazing answers from them as well. So a bit of context.
I just like, before you jump in, I'm like, I just got really nervous. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it is a bit nerve-wracking because you have no idea what these questions are. You haven't been able to prepare, and yeah, it is. There's a lot of pressure. I'm counting on you to like hold this episode. So, no pressure, but
just all the pressure.
Yeah, so be nervous. You're right to be nervous. I consulted Google for some questions because I had no idea what I wanted to ask you, because I feel like I know so many things, and like we've spoken about a lot already on the podcast. So I was like, I want them to be like different, but yeah, I wanted them to still be interesting and value add and all of the things. So I potentially had quite high standards for myself for these questions. But yeah, so I consulted Google. Google had absolutely nothing for me. So I've pretty much used that as a basis for finding a bunch of other stuff. I've gone through a lot of rabbit holes. Anyway, we're here. We've made it.
We're here.
So are you ready for the first question?
No.
All right, that's it. Episode done.
Done. We out.
Sorry. Bye, guys. Follow us on socials.
Bye. No. Let's do it.
All right. So if you could have lunch with any business owner, who would they be and what would you want to talk to them about?
Jesus. That is such a fucking good question. Oh,
it's a hard one. Yeah. I have not started easy.
Yeah, this is a good question. I think I would love to have lunch with Marie Forleo. She is an amazing entrepreneur in America. I absolutely love her book, Everything is Figureoutable, because it's such a motto that I live by. And I've listened to a lot of interviews with her, and she's just amazing. But one of the things she's talked about and touched on a lot is being a multi-passionate entrepreneur.
Ooh.
Which I just love, because I feel the same. You hear a lot of business coaches or businesses or just mentors or other businesses say, you have to niche down.
Niche down. Oh my God, yes.
Find your niche and everything will happen. Everything will be sorted. And what that does is tells you that you can only be good at one thing or only focus on one thing.
And only serve one sort of person and all of the things. Yeah.
And that just doesn't resonate with me. Like I couldn't pick a thing. Like obviously I am a virtual assistant and I have a virtual assistant agency, but I have nowhere near niche down. I have 3 niches.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that for a long time because I'm like, am I niche down enough? Like I haven't niche down. So to be able to hear someone who is crazy successful call herself a multi-passionate entrepreneur, I'm like, oh my God, light bulb. Like that's how I feel. Like I don't have to pick one thing. Like she's like done choreography for crazy, amazing singers and dancers. She has like what is her main business is called B School, where she teaches like business and copy and online businesses to other business owners. And she's an author. She runs a like TV production company. Like,
oh my God, she does everything.
YouTube, I think it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like multi-passionate. Like that is not what you would consider air quotes norm to most businesses. But yeah, you can like a million things and still make them successful in your businesses or add elements of those things in your businesses.
I love it.
So I'd love to chat to her and pick her brain even further.
Yeah. And just see what she has to say about, because in general, like working online, there are so many different things you can do and so many things you could expand into. Like even with your agency, potentially, like, you know, some of your Hayleigh helpers might excel in certain things that you're not necessarily amazing at, but you can be like, oh, actually, I want to learn about that. And then start offering that as like a formal service as well. Like those are all amazing things that you can do. And it sort of really plays into what we both believe, which is you dream big, the sky's the limit. There's nothing to sort of box you in. And I love that thinking of, because I'm the same, like I don't have a niche. I don't have like a particular kind of person I serve or like an industry. Like I do a lot in my day-to-day and in my business. So when everyone's like, yeah, niche down, I feel like I'm a crappy business owner because I'm not niche down. So I think it would be amazing to pick her brain.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Passionate entrepreneur. What about you? Is there someone that comes to mind that you'd like to have dinner or lunch with?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm sure there is, but yeah, I actually just should have expected you to turn this question around on me, and I didn't prepare anything. No, I think there are so many amazing business owners out there, but for me, I'm in a weird stage where I don't know what I want to know.
Yeah,
so, like,
okay.
I have an idea of where I want to take Scrunch, and I've got some really exciting things coming up in the new year, but I don't know what I would want to talk to anyone about, if that makes sense. Like, I'm so focused on just the doing and like the brainstorming and stuff that I haven't really identified the gaps in my knowledge, or even just like from a mindset perspective, I don't know what sort of thing I would want to talk about.
Yeah.
So I have a list of probably 20 amazing business owners that I'd, love to all gather around a table and have a wine with, but I don't Sometimes have just one.
Yeah, like being a sponge, like just being in the room where it happened, like being a sponge and just listen and absorb, not necessarily have questions.
But yes. Also, quick sidetrack. Anytime anyone says be in the room where it happened, I can't.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
My brain went there.
Yeah. I actually just can't. I'm like immediately like off on that tangent. I'm like reliving the entire musical in my brain. So yeah. Anyway, if I'm distracted, I'm just listening to Hamilton in my mind.
My brain sees.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that I think you've nailed question 1. So let's just roll right on to the second question. If you were granted 3 wishes for your business, think genie in a bottle, Aladdin kind of thing, what would you spend them on?
Oh, Jesus, Jordan.
I can't tell if that's a great question or fuck
it's
you for
another
proposing this question.
It's a great question, and I wish I want to think about it, but I don't want to think about I needed it.
What's the first thing
answer fast? I don't know. This might sound weird. I wish I could see the future.
Oh yeah,
and be able to work backwards.
Ooh,
so be able to see if, and this is kind of like, even though I dream really big, sometimes I find it hard to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
So then I can't put into practice or put in place the things I need to do to get to the big vision.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to see that certainty and be able to work backwards.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a bit nufty, but that's the one.
No, I like that. And it really plays into like your not weaknesses in business, but like that would really help you with a lot of things. So that of course that makes sense. That's not naff at all.
So that would be 1.
You got 2 more.
2 would be, I would love like a real Hayleigh Helper headquarters.
Oh, yes.
Like a big warehouse zone office space where I could like do content creation and like have an office and like a podcast studio.
Yes.
And just like deck it out with so much pink stuff.
Oh, yes.
Just all the colors.
Just make it a vibe. And make it your vibe because it's your HQ. I love that.
That would be number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what number 3 would be.
I'm surprised you haven't gone for the classics like, infinite amount of money and all that.
Yeah, but like that's happening. Like I don't need to wish for that.
You'll make that happen.
That's happening.
In the same vein though, you're going to make Hayleigh HQ happen. You might not be able to see the future. Unless there's a course on it that, you could take. But I don't think that's potentially I don't think that's probably viable. But in the same vein, Hayleigh Helper HQ is definitely going to happen in the future.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, depends where I move or live and stuff like that. Like my headquarters now is just like a spare room in my townhouse, which is still amazing.
Yeah.
But bigger space. And I don't know if it's like viable anymore, but if I had infinite amounts of money and didn't have to think about ever going back into something like lockdown, then I would make it happen. But maybe my 3rd wish would be, this could also be like a Hayleigh Helper headquarters. It could happen one day. But one of my wishes, or on my vision board, I guess, is to do a TED Talk.
Yes.
Like a real one.
Yes. Oh, that would be so good.
I just like walk out and everyone who would know who I was and I would talk about, I'm not sure yet, but just be on stage doing a TED Talk.
Yeah. And that would be amazing. How do you think your introvertedness would go with that?
I think good, because I could practice. I could practice the shit out of that.
Yeah. And then you can go have a nap afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, if there's any kind of after party or after situation, I'm not going to that.
I'm out.
Or can we make sure I'm like first of the day so that I can go and hide for a while and sleep and then come back to that thing?
Yeah, amazing.
One of my other, this is how like invested I am in doing a TED Talk. One of my other favorite American entrepreneurs is Vanessa Van Edwards, which is where I got recovering awkward person from.
Yeah.
She coined that term. She does like the study of like people and interactions. And she did a study where they found out the best TED Talks online that get watched the most are the ones with the most amount of hand gestures. So any kind of speaking event, guys, come on. Show your hands.
Show your hands. That's fascinating.
Or talk with your hands.
Do you think it's because like it shows that you're passionate about it? It shows that you're more engaged. Like your whole body is like physically invested in whatever you're doing rather than just you speaking.
Yes, but the first initial thing that keeps you invested is safety. So if you're looking at someone and you can't see their hands, it turns into like a primal thing where you don't know what their hands are doing. So therefore, like you instantly don't trust them. They could have a weapon. It kind of goes back to that primate time where it's like they could have a sword or a rock, and if you can't see them, it could be behind their back. So it's like an instant comfort to make an audience comfortable.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I am now using more hands as I speak. It's like
especially in like content like reels and videos. That's why that like 2 seconds of like movement is what keeps you like engaged. It's the same with like making them feel comfortable.
Very cool. Very nice. See, that was easy. 3 easy wishes. I just turned into a genie. My wish is to turn into a genie so I can grant everyone all of them. So I'll work on that and we'll get back to it. So question 3, what has been the biggest challenge you've had to overcome in business?
Jesus, guys, we're just getting in the feels. It's cliche, but it's just the truth. Like mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset. You get in your own way.
Always mindset.
Yeah. I've had a couple of like bad clients, which we've talked about on the pod before, but it's just mindset. Like if I didn't have a good mindset, I'd probably get over something like that quickly. When I'm struggling in my business, it's because my mindset's not in the right place. If I'm having a bad day, normally because I'm letting my Karen from finance, inner mean girl, come and chat to me and tell me that I'm shit, even though I know that I'm not. So it's like it's mindset all the time. If you don't have a strong mind, you can't step into your power and make things happen in your life and in your business.
And you continue to hold yourself back as well. And I think as well with mindset, so many of us wouldn't have started our own businesses if we hadn't overcome certain like mental barriers. I know especially so many women experience imposter syndrome and feelings of like, I'm not good enough. Like, who am I to start a business? I'm not qualified. Like, I don't know shit about anything. And the more we tell ourselves those stories and the more we buy into those narratives, the less likely we are to actually start a business or continue a business or do anything like that. I suppose I'm not surprised that comes up for you. And I think that would come up for just about any business owner as well.
What about you, Jordan? Would you say mindset's your biggest thing you've needed to overcome, or have you got like a story to tell the audience?
Oh, that's a story. I think mindset, yes. I think for me that's a given. With it, like I don't know how to phrase it. For me, mindset is a given that it's going to be a big challenge that I have to continually overcome. So I don't think I've overcome a lot of like mental barriers, but I don't think I've like conquered my mindset and I'm like, all over it. So it's definitely something that I
don't think anyone ever will.
Like, no. There's always going to be stuff to work on.
Yeah. What is it? New levels equals new devils.
I haven't heard that.
Every time you level up, over a mindset block,
there's so many more.
There's going to be a new one. It's like, I was just a VA and I overcome all those blocks and now I'm leveling up to an VA agency, and that comes with management. Am I a good manager? Am I this? Am I that? So it's like all new devils to inner mean girl chat to me. Yeah. And I have to overcome those. And then I don't know, next will be I'm a TED Talk speaker. Yeah. And I'm gonna overcome that.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point. There's always going to be mindset challenges to overcome. So yeah, I think for me, that's a given. I think for me, one of the biggest challenges I've had to overcome, and I know we've spoken about it on the podcast. I mean, hell, like it's the reason we started our podcast is loneliness and feeling alone in this journey. Like I am a huge extrovert. I love being around people and not necessarily just talking to people. I think there's a huge misconceptions with extroverts that we need to be talking to people all the time and like, you know, always engaged in conversation or speaking or doing things. But for me, it's also about just being around people, being surrounded by people doing other things. I don't need to be talking to them, but like if I go to a co-work space and everyone else is talking and, you know, having a laugh over coffee or walking in and out, it's just being around people satisfies something and really like scratches that itch in my extroversion. So then being at home has been really hard and working from home. So I'm looking into a co-work space for next year. But yeah, I think it's been really hard, and it's been hard as well because until I really found a community of small business owners, no one got it. Like I was out here doing my own thing, and like I was 21 when I started my business.
Just a baby.
I mean, I'm only 24 now, but
still a baby.
Still a baby. But I was 21 when I started my business. Fuck, everyone was still studying or like the first year into their full-time jobs or like, you know, bartending or working casually. And like, this is not a diss on any of that at all. Please don't take it as that. But no one knew what I was going. No one had run a business before. Like no one had even considered that it was a possibility. So it was also really isolating in that regard because sure, people would be like, oh, how's your business? I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, really good. Like I got a new client. But yeah, it's not the same level of like people don't get it. So yeah, I think that's been for me. But yeah, since we started the podcast and I've been putting myself out there again, especially, you know, post-COVID, that's been a lot easier. And I know what I need now as well. So I know that if I am feeling lonely, I'm like, Hayleigh, let's have a wine and whinge.
Go outside.
Go outside. Talk to your favorite people. And yeah, so that's probably mine.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty relatable.
Yeah.
All right. So last question.
Ooh.
And this is the one we had stacks of input from our community.
Ooh,
so like
I'm excited to hear.
Yeah. So be prepared for that. But what part of running a business do you like more than you thought you would?
Oh.
Yeah.
What part of business do I like more than I thought?
Yeah. So like, what did you sort of come in thinking, oh, you know, this is probably going to be something I hate or like I outsource or whatever, but you've actually really enjoyed it?
Nothing is springing to mind straight away that I'm like, oh God, I really like everything I do. I love, and I kind of knew that I loved it beforehand, and it's just been enhanced within business because I used to like I did all this like mindset stuff. I did all the like personal development, all the things that I like flourish and love to do in my business. I do them now. All my hobbies are now my businesses, so it's like What? No. I mean, no, I can't think of something. I might need some like community input, and then I'm gonna go, oh my God, of course, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I was the same, and I wanted to put this question to our community because this was actually one that I did find from the Googles, but I tweaked it because it was like, what do you dislike more than you thought? Like, what do you really hate about running a business, essentially? Like more than you thought you would hate. So I just tweaked it because I love a positive spin. But I wrote the question down, sat with it, and I was like, fuck, I don't know. I was like, I don't have an answer for this. Like, I think, and then I looked at the community input and I was like, okay, maybe some people are going to, like, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 responses. I got like, and I don't even have all of them listed down. Like, I have like a page and a half of input.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. So we're going to like break it down into topics. And then just sort of run through it because we've like it's hefty. So shall we hear what our community has to say?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. All right. So there are like 3 key areas that all of our community said were the things that surprised them about running business. They really, really liked more than they thought they would. So we've got networking, we've got systems and processes, and we've got content creation. Oh my God, I missed one. We actually have 4. We've also got sales. So let me walk you through them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. So let me
go on.
Yeah. Proceed.
I'm listening.
we'll start at the top with networking. So for Joanne from Easy Packing Boxes said, meeting new people, we deliver all over Melbourne and it's great to meet new people and hear a little bit about their stories. And our lovely Cass from Eco Assistant, our podcast manager, shout out Cass, said, definitely networking. I didn't realize how many cool people I'd meet who are so supportive, AKA girls gotta work. Thanks, Cass.
We love that. I mean, now that you've said that, I can't, it's probably that out of all the topics you've said, it's probably that, because being the introvert in my brain anyway, it's like people scare the shit out of me, like new people scare the shit out of me. So I probably still don't fully enjoy it as much as I could, but I definitely am surprised every now and then when it goes well.
Yeah. And you enjoy it more than you think you thought you would before you started a business?
Yeah.
Potentially. God, you're hard to please on this question.
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet, but it's probably the closest, but it makes it like that makes sense to me, because I can't fully say that I love it because I really don't. I know
it's not about loving it.
I know the importance, and I can't say that I enjoy it.
Interesting. It isn't about loving it though. It's just about liking it more than you thought you would before starting. I suppose then that's by technicality, like that's it. Getting you. I have to lean on technicalities. You're not giving me much here. All right. Well, let's try and get you on a technicality for systems and processes too.
No, because I already know that I loved that before starting my business. So.
Oh yeah, this is something for me that surprised me. Like I just set up my Dubsado. I did Charlotte Isaac's course, e-seekers, and I set up my Dubsado, and I'm like obsessed. I love it so much. And we have a few people who also love it too. So Rowena from Pretty Creative said, systems and processes, it appeals to the side of my brain that was supposed to be an accountant. I love the clarity they give me. Yes. 100%. That's a good one.
Yeah, see, I already loved that shit before.
Yeah.
Anything that I can do to like shave off 5 seconds of a task, I'll do it.
You'll do it.
That's amazing. So I already liked that before.
Yeah. Well, Remy also was from Sunday Best Digital, was also not a huge fan of client experiences and systems and processes before she started a business. But she said, I love thinking about how to make the client experience easier and more pleasant, and the systems and processes I can create to help with that.
Oh, I love that.
And I think it is so much of it is about helping your clients have a better experience, which is what I love about systems and processes. Like when I worked in my full-time gig in agency land, our systems weren't super up to scratch. Like I'm pretty particular about how I like systems and like how I like them to flow. So I knew I loved it, but having the client experience is a totally different thing. And that makes a huge difference for me.
And getting to create it how you want to create it versus being in another company's system, then you don't get to tailor it to how you want to talk to the clients or how you want the clients to feel, because it's not your vision, it's theirs.
Exactly.
So I think definitely when you get to have the ability to do it yourself, it just makes a huge difference. Yeah,
totally agree. And then D from her work has said IT, so a little bit different, but still sort of under the systems and processes banner. So yeah, she said IT, I never thought I'd actually enjoy creating a web platform, so her work is a web platform. But it's super fun. Oh, I love that. And I love
that's a good one.
Those sort of surprises, like you have a vision and you know it's what you want to do, like whether it's creating a website platform and you're like, oh, this IT techie stuff does not look like it's going to be fun, but it's pleasantly surprised because it's such a big part of what you do. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. The next topic, content creation. Kat, lovely Kat, absolute legend from Kat Dunn OBM, has said, writing weekly emails to my list. I love being able to control what content I give them, and I get really good stats. It's the highlight of my week.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I love that too. And I'm on Kat's mailing list, and you feel that, like you feel the passion shine through. And I think as someone who, works with content for a living, I think passion for it is so important. So it's so good to see that people are surprising themselves with how much they like it. And Kate Merriweather totally agrees on the content creation. She not emails, but actually video content, which I don't hear people say pretty much ever.
No, that's true.
So she said, I hated it at first and felt so awkward, but I just kept going, practicing and sharing videos. It's been 2 years now, and I enjoy making videos each week and sharing them on LinkedIn. Such a nice surprise.
We need to check out some of that video content. I want to see.
You have to get on LinkedIn first.
I'm on, actually. So
Sidetrack.
You say that. I went on during the week because I was looking for something for a client, and I had like messages from August. about like a book club, and I was like, oh my God, I would have loved to have read this book. But I just realized it's pretty much October. this window.
Oh my God. For context, guys, I've been trying to get Hayleigh to diversify her marketing platforms. For Hallie to include LinkedIn and uphill battle. Let's just put it that way.
Too many things going on, Jordan.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's on the list of things.
List. Yeah.
Just it's at the bottom.
It's at the if I have absolutely nothing else to do, I'm still gonna procrastinate as much as possible, and then I'm gonna do it. I have those things too. It's just not social media. It's like other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to see that people are surprised by loving content, especially with what I do, because you see so many people. Like I work with so many clients who hate creating content, and that's why they come to me.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear people just be excited about it, because like I'm excited about it. So yeah, it's nice to hear. And our lucky last topic, there are actually more, but I've just sort of selected these as our key few because otherwise we'll be here all day, was sales. So Casey from the Courage Project said, absolutely sales. I previously thought it was a dirty word with horrible connotations, but after doing a lot of work on this and realizing my strengths lie in building relationships and sharing my passion, it's now my favorite part of the Courage Project.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah. And
that makes so much sense.
And it's a mindset shift, like realizing that sales is not just about like, hey, give me money, here's something for the money. It's more about building connections and talking to people and sharing your passion. And I think that's amazing. I love that response. So I obviously had to include it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really like that too.
And our last one for sales is from Brooke McCarthy. She said, sales conversations, I've had a lot more than normal due to my program being open, and they're so much fun. Seriously, so much laughing and enjoyment of each other. It's fun to hear people's stories and see their business potential. Done right, sales convos should be a consent-led, joyous conversation by two people who have a lot in common with deep mutual respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, done. That makes so much sense. Like, And I have zero comments. Just tick. Well done.
Tick. Well done, team. But yeah, I think that really sums it up. Like, and as you were saying before, like you knew yourself really well coming into business. You knew exactly what you did and didn't like. So that's why this question is challenging for you.
Yeah.
But for so many people, I think, not that I'm saying to any of our community that you had no idea what you were doing, but you learn so much about yourself in running a business. Like you have to be more proactive on being self-aware and personal development as well as business development. So you do learn things that you never would have learned about yourself otherwise. And I think that's why I love this question so much, because it really is about like, what have you learned about yourself in the business process? And as a result, what you enjoy doing. So yeah, I love it.
I mean, hopefully, you know, in a couple months' time, if we revisit this question, networking might be on the top of my list. But yeah, I think you're right. Like it is about learning about yourself. And I did have a pretty good understanding who I was.
Yeah.
There's still things that I don't love that I know, even if it is just a mindset shift of saying, oh no, I'm actually getting good at this, then maybe I'll learn to love it. But sometimes, exactly. Like sometimes I just do the things I don't like because I know I need to.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, not to shameless plug, but to shameless plug, if you don't, fucking outsource it. Like,
but that's like what we've both been doing. Like we both outsource heaps in our businesses because if we don't love it, like I recently hired outsourced to a bookkeeper because it's one thing that I'm just not across. And I get really self-conscious about it because and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to learn to love this. I'm going to learn to enjoy invoicing and reconciling accounts. And fuck me, it's been 2 years 2.5 years and I still hate it and I still don't want to do it. So I'm not doing it anymore. Just outsource it.
Exactly.
And that's okay too.
Yeah, because at least you tried and you've got a good enough understanding. I don't think we need, like, fuck me, we're never going to know everything. We're never going to love knowing everything. Like my brain cannot handle that much shit. So
so if you have happy surprises, amazing, and lean into it and do it. Like sell stuff and make content and go to networking events and do all the things. And if you don't, fucking don't do it. Get someone else to do it for you. You probably can't get people to network for you, but everything else, get someone else to do it.
Yeah. There's probably like some areas you could, like community management on Instagram is one way.
Touche.
But physically, like I can't send a Hayleigh clone out to network for me.
Until clones.
No. Yeah.
Until clones are a thing.
Not physically, but I can train myself. Like, you know, if I know I need to go somewhere and engage, I just have to rest and then show up.
Yeah. Or figure out a way to make a clone, and that's fine.
Yeah. Maybe that's what my TED Talk will be about.
How to deal with your introversion. Make a clone and stay inside and never leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
That's the answer.
That's it. And that's a wrap, fam. As always, we love being in your ears, sharing the highs and lows of business ownership with a dash of chaos thrown in for good measure.
If you want to keep the party going, come and join us on Instagram and TikTok at Girls Gotta Work Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
Till next time.
Bye.
Nice.
We out.
We out.